disappointed not to reach the final last night. He had a good chance to big sell, but he gets to do it all again. And it's always great to see Judd Trump, of course, coming in 3 times a winner of this Championship League. Phil Yates alongside me.
Yeah, it is, and what an infusion of talent we have. Gary Wilson, recent ranking event winner, north of the border, and 2 world champions, John Higgins, and of course the man.
Takes on Ryan Dane round 1. But he's always done well in this event. He's always these short matches. I mean, he's actually well known also for doing well in the best of 7 events, but these best of 5s maybe just to semi-final.
Wow, what a shot that was. Everything just delivered ideally. Peter Lyons told about his son Oliver going down to practice with Judd recently. They had 25 frames and Trump made 7. I get the feeling he's in pretty good nick.
Seven.
Yeah, he's trying to, obviously, in last season it just dried up a little. He won the new Turkish Masters, he won the Champion of Champions, he reached the World Championship final, now what he'd done previously, so it seemed a disappointing campaign. He's yet to win a title this season,
13.
yet to really get close. So we're about halfway through the season, there's a lot of big tournaments coming up, and this would be a great time to hit form again.
But that tournament is played on Rasson tables, and so is this.
21.
And when he was in for these particular tables, so maybe he's going to relish them again.
But at his level, he's not looking for consistency, he's looking to win. And he's just, because points have been coming off as
29.
well on the 2 good week, it can all turn around, and you feel it will.
Latter stages
36.
of tournaments, and he's playing his best. It's a joy to behold.
37.
Of course, he's now a superstar. Back in 2000, it was a big breakthrough for him. And he played Walden twice that year in the Championship League, on the way to lifting the trophy. Remarkable.
He didn't quite look on that red, and he sort of tried to convince himself
Judd
he could still pop. Only 19, he was still a junior, he was well regarded, but obviously, you know, he still had to come through and do something. And the fact that he was in the winners group, surround. Well, another wonderful pot. These are good signs. First snooker of the year.
Looks to me, Dave, as though he might have got in some practice.
And he's duly got it.
No.
Cue ball could have finished in a kinder spot. Thing
Yellow
to do.
ball.
That's what he is doing.
Judd Trump. No.
He has left this red sticking out, mind you.
Yeah, it's very early days, but I was talking about Walden having the advantage of having, you know, got used to conditions. But sometimes you see players who have come close to winning a group and not done it. The next day, Walden has made little impact on this first frame so far. Whereas Trump...
$16. Two. 23. Trump.
So,
just avoids the blue. And when you do that, Trump looks as though he's going to be mustered. Not a bad effort there. Looking at the rankings, Dave, between frames, not exactly guaranteed to be in the Players' Championship, and he's got work to do to be in the Tour Championship. And that's...
out. There'll be no points there either. Yeah, I mean, if he's not in the Tour Championship, that would be a surprise, although there's a few, actually. Ronnie O'Sullivan, Neil Robertson are outside that cut-off at the middle. Still got a chance, this. Seems unfair, that.
I also remember one match at the UK Championship involving Trump and our co-commentator in successive frames. I felt really sorry for Dom, because from those flukes he just flew.
Well, feel free to bring it up with Dominic later on.
Four.
He looks very businesslike here. As I say, the festive break, the starting gun for the run into the World Championship. There's a lot of big tournaments before that, but minds start to turn towards the Crucible as the weeks head on into April.
Seven.
Last year he went there not feeling good, talking even about having a break from the game, knocking everything in, and he did beat him 17-16. I think that maybe that affected the start of the final for him. But that's all part of the World Championship. And very impressively responded.
Generally, as rely heavily on confidence. Trump is no exception, and I think what I've noticed, Dave, technically, is that
19.
what I've noticed, Dave, technically, is that
19.
delivery
A single visit.
$25.
and he didn't hit that cue ball very hard, and yet he was still able to stun across the face of the black, and now he's in absolute... I would go so far as to say he should lead 2-0.
I was talking about the World Championship, Phil, about an ever-present at the Crucible for many years, the Spectator, and she informs me today it's 100 days to the start of the World Championship.
Yeah, what a star, Kelly. Loves the game.
She fact checks the Crucible Almanac that Chris Downer does, so that's produces every year.
Well, I'm not
47.
unveiling any trade secrets for us, Dave. It's
now table 2 not moving along quite so quickly. They have added today the Scottish Open champion, and he's 30 points in front against Robert Milkins, but ball's a little awkward there. Towards a 2-0 lead.
$61.
When the Judd Trump can kick off the new year with a century here in frame 2. He's in a three-way sort of fight to become the second player to 1,000 centuries.
69.
Obviously Ronnie O'Sullivan got through that mark. Trump's on 878, 2 ahead of Neil Robertson, and just behind John Higgins on 910. One of those 3 will be the next one.
77.
At some point in the next couple of years.
purely based on the age of John Higgins. I would say that for me it would be Trump or Robertson joint favourite.
To say, because actually last season just on the centuries last season. Actually, it was Robertson 61, Higgins 58. Find out who is the Buzz Aldrin of that particular stat. But this is great stuff, meanwhile, from Trump. And, you know, got the safe red out off the cushion. So now, surely the century is forthcoming. He seems to be really enjoying himself as well this morning.
7 centuries in the first 3 groups. 20 in Group 1, 19 in Group 2. Group 2 and 17 in Group 3.
90.
Well, you just feel there's going to be plenty in this group, don't you? Coming back for Group 4 today.
93.
Morning as he kicks off 2023. Hoping, of course, for titles.
97.
And to win titles, you need confidence, and playing like this will give him plenty of that. It's a tournament he just always seems to play well in. This Championship League. It's for the black.
108 and a second frame.
But this isn't the first time that Ricky Walden has felt the fourth. Had 4 centuries. And I think what David Hendon was saying about
beating Matt Selt 3-1. We'll never know if he'd have beaten Kyron Wilson or not, but just that feeling, I'm sure, as he went back to the hotel as Trump takes that on, that he should have been in the final. But he's got a chance here. Be covered here, but it's not. So can Ricky Walden get going finally? Still in the first frame, by the way, on table 2.
1.
There's only one colour short straw, isn't he, the referee?
Yeah, and we must bear in mind that's Gary Wilson against Rob Milkins, 2 players who traditionally get on with it. So an unusual frame for those.
5.
It was trying to be a shot to nothing, but he has left a red to middle. Oh dear me. You always want to start off with a win in these groups.
Yeah, and he gets to stay on as well and play match 2 against Mark Selby.
$15.
I think Trump's a bit old in snooker, but a lot of his main rivals are older than him. Ronnie O'Sullivan, John Higgins, Mark Williams, the class in 92. And there isn't the sort of wave of 20-somethings coming through to threaten him. Problem is, though, those 40-somethings I mentioned are all still really good. And he's just...
Favour.
$28.
So nicely.
34.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's another tournament. He wants to be here. He wants to win the event, obviously. But it's also about getting confidence up, getting form going before the Masters. It doesn't always mean he's going to win the tournament, obviously, but it's about trying to get up ahead of steam. Won the Masters back in 2019. Nearly got to the final last year, didn't he? Barry Hawkins beat him in the semis.
$50.
I'll tell you what, he's getting better and better.
There by the milkman, but this match with Trump could be over before frame 1 on table 2. In fact, it's quite likely now. this red, Phil, is his match. It's been a terrific display from him. They're well and truly blown off by this display, and he's got a chance to make a second century here. It's not in now. Walden, is he going to play on 59 behind?
Judd trump 71.
I feel he has to.
And as you pointed out,
Frank
he
Getsy
plays
for the
next.
match.
Yeah, and he's going to be out in only 5 minutes' time.